It's another edition of Behind the Mic with AudioFile Magazine. I'm Joe Reed. I have Stephen Cummings with me.
Hello, Joe.
Hello. And we're talking deep cuts.
Yes, we are.
Okay, that's the book you're talking about today. Explain it to us.
Absolutely. This was one that came on my radar rather quickly. It came out in February. It was a Today Show spring pick. Also, Cameron Crowe, who listeners may know is the legendary music writer for Rolling Stone and a writer-director for Almost Famous. He's a fan, apparently, written some nice things about this book, so I had to read it or had to listen to it. It's narrated by Jayme Mattler. Now, she's also someone relatively new to me. But she does this really good job capturing that time in the late 1990s to the mid aughts. She completely gets that college age to mid 20s voice. She's educated, she's a writer, and she's got a very strong sense of what makes a song good.
And remind us who the author is.
The author is Holly Brickley. I want to say this is her first novel.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
It begins in the year 2000 around the campus of the University of California, Berkeley. So UC Berkeley. Percy is the character, the main character, and she meets Joey in a bar where they discover that they each have a love of music. They share a deep connection with that. Joey's a musician, and with Percy's input as their relationship progresses, they collaborate on a song. However, Joey fails to give due credit to Percy for that collaboration, which is one of the conflicts that we experience throughout this audiobook.
But isn't there a little complication around that? Because she didn't want co writing credit.
Yeah, it's a little bit back and forth. She doesn't have she's a writer, and so one of the stories here is that she winds up writing for a zine. And again, that might take you back if you're a certain age. I'm certainly of a certain age where people where those were very popular, where you did homegrown writing. So she wasn't necessarily a producer, but spent enough time working with Joey to get that input into this song. And when the song is finally pressed on CD, if you remember those,
Mhm.
her name is missing off the credits, and that actually hits her in a way that it really affects her that she wasn't given that due consideration.
So that request she made, however many years earlier, it's just like, whoa, wait a minute, what did I do?
Right. And that gets into this sort of evolution of these characters as well. There's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of music. That's the mixtape of this particular title. Some audiobooks, they reference songs as a way to give you a place in time. This audiobook goes way past that. These are characters, they all have intense conversations about music. It's very important to them. For example, she works at Amoeba Records, which is a popular record and tape place. You can still actually go there. So it's set in sort of that reality, and she just knows what works for her. So if you've sat across from somebody who dismisses a song or album that you love and you defend that beloved song, you'll probably get what's going on with these characters. Many song references throughout. In fact, so many that Holly Brickley, the author, has official playlists available on streaming services. So you can hop over to those services if you want to catch up on the songs they're talking about, which I always find helpful.
Yeah, that's really nice. Is there any soundscape at all to this?
There's no music. There might be music bumps at the beginning and end, but it's one of those things where they don't really go there here. It's all words. But again, that's one of the nice things about if you have the mind of these songs, they'll probably pop into your head while you're talking to them. In fact, let me set up the clip because it's a great way to talk about this. And Jayme Mattler's performance here is just a really good fit for this. Like I said, she's really smart. She's a thoughtful character. She writes essays about music, and she just has a voice for that. And what you're gonna hear is this meet. It's a meet cute. It's where two people meet for the first time, and you can see where this is going. She meets him in a bar, and the song playing over the speakers is "Sarah's Smile" by Daryl Hall and John Oates. So if you're not familiar, hop over to streaming service, get yourself acquainted, and come back and they talk about it.
Yeah, or head over to, Holly Brickley's, playlist. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, this is Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley, read by Jayme Mattler.
He caught me singing along to some garbage song. It was the year 2000, so you can take your pick of soulless hits. Probably a boy band, or a teenage girl in a crop top, or a muscular man with restricted nasal airflow. I was waiting for a drink at a bar, spaced out. I didn't realize I'd been singing until his smile floated into the periphery of my vision, and I felt impaled by humiliation. Terrible song, I said, forcing a casual tone. But it's an earworm. We knew each other in that vague way you can know people in college, without ever having been introduced or had a conversation. Joey, they called him, though I decided in that moment the diminutive did not suit him. He was too tall, for one. He put an elbow on the bar and said, "Is an earworm ever terrible, though? If it's truly an earworm?"
Okay, that is a good performance. It really does catch the tone of college students and that passion about pop music. It was so crucial, you know.
You can't
Oh,
you yeah, I'm a member of that era. I remember those conversations, and you can actually make or break relationships if somebody says the
completely.
wrong thing about something that you are devoted to, so
Absolutely.
totally get it.
Or like something you're contemptuous of. It goes both ways.
Oh, it certainly does.
Oh,
This book does a great job capturing that.
that is really interesting. Okay, Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley, read by Jayme Mattler. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Support for Behind the Mic comes from HarperCollins Leadership, publisher of The Little Book of Data, understanding the powerful analytics that drive AI, make or break careers, and could just end up saving the world. Available everywhere you get your audiobooks.